Penelope. Today's Greek deity is Athena, goddess of wisdom. I have this little owl lamp because one of her main symbols is the owl. Owls have been associated with Athena since as long as she's been around. One of her titles is Glaucopis, which means bright-eyed. And there's also a type of owl with a similar name, suggesting that they come from the same Greek root words. She's also often depicted in ancient art as having an owl on her shoulder or her hand or somewhere near her. Now, I always thought that owls were associated with Athena because they were already associated with wisdom, and she's the goddess of wisdom. But it seems like that's actually the other way around, that owls, because of their association with Athena, we now think of them as being wise today. Glaucopis is actually the name that Homer uses most often for her in the Iliad and the Odyssey, which I suppose I would have known already if I'd read those in Greek in high school. But alas, I only knew English at the time. I was taking Latin, but that wouldn't have helped me here. So I did read them in English, like most people. I guess I should say like most people in the United States. The most popular myth of Athena's birth is that she just popped out of Zeus's head via asexual reproduction, and thus also because of her association with wisdom being from the mind, that Zeus just thought of her and she came into being. But there's another version of the myth that honestly I think makes more sense, and that is that there was a prophecy that said that Zeus would have a child that would be able to overthrow him. And so when his first wife, Metis, became pregnant with Athena, he swallowed her whole. And then, years later, he had just the worst headache, so bad that he actually ordered Hephaestus to knock his head open, and out popped Athena. She was fully grown at this point and somehow also fully armored, but that's just myths for you. The reason I find this to be more likely is Zeus's first wife, Metis, was a goddess. She was a daughter of one of the Titans, Oceanus. She was a nymph, and it was said that she was wiser than all gods or mortal men. I think it makes more sense that Athena, the goddess of wisdom, got her wisdom from this goddess and not from Zeus, because I wouldn't say that Zeus is the wisest of the Greek gods. That's all I'll say about Zeus for right now. He'll have his own video. He's the worst. Now, also the goddess of war. It's the battle armor I've got on. She's often depicted wearing a helmet and a breastplate called the Aegis, and wielding a spear. But I don't have a spear or a helmet, so I've got this sword. I do have a breastplate, but it is very heavy, and it takes me a while to get all armored up, so it would have been difficult to film this video in that armor. Sounds would not have been very good. So I've got this sword. I'll keep it in the sheath. It's not old. Now, whereas Ares is the god of war in the sense that he is the god of the act of war, the violence, the bloodshed, the war itself. Athena, she presides over the more political or civilization-focused parts of war, the planning, strategies, and the physical prowess required to be a hero of war. This is why she was the teacher, trainer of a lot of Greek heroes. For example, Jason, the Argonauts, Perseus, Hercules, and Odysseus. This sword is really heavy, so I'm gonna put it down. I will probably eventually make a video about the heroes, the Greek heroes, and their feats, especially Odysseus, because I've always really liked him. And Athena was very close to him in a mentor sort of sense. I think that is very interesting. She really joined his side, though, because of the apple story, where the goddess Eris threw an apple that said for the fairest into a wedding party that everyone was at but her, and Athena lost the contest basically because Paris decided to give the apple to Aphrodite. Athena was angry at Paris, and so she joined the Greeks instead of the Trojans on the side of that war that started after Paris got Helen. So it was a little bit because of pettiness, but at least Odysseus got a really good teacher out of it. This just reminded me of one of those Greek vases a little bit, probably because of the handles. the reason for Athena being associated with the more political side of war is because of the name of Athens. Athena and Poseidon both wanted to be the patron of this city. So they gave its people gifts. Poseidon gave them a saltwater spring to connect them to the ocean. But Athena, she gave them an olive tree. The people of Athens liked the olive tree better, and so they chose Athena. So she became the patron of their city, its protector. Yet another reason for her to side with them during the Trojan War. There is one more aspect that Athena has. She is also a goddess of craft, which I didn't know until I started looking things up about her, even though she is one of my favorites. And this is why, when Arachne, one of her students, started bragging that she was better at weaving than Athena was, Athena became very angry. However, she did not immediately turn her into a spider. What she did was disguise herself as an old woman so that she could warn her against or about the dangers of speaking badly about the gods. Arachne did not stop, though. She boasted that she could beat Athena in a weaving contest, and so Athena gave her a weaving contest. Arachne's tapestry did end up being absolutely perfect. However, the depictions on the tapestry were of the gods cheating on their respective spouses, which they did a lot. So Athena became angry, and she burned the tapestry, and she beat up Arachne. And Arachne was so distraught with this outcome that she took her own life. And Athena, after that, felt sorry for her and turned her into a spider to save her. So that's the connection. Arachnid, spider. It's because of that woman. Athena did a lot of turning people into other things. She turned a girl named Myrnex into an ant for saying that she invented the plow, even though Athena did. She also turned a woman named Myrcine into a myrtle tree, also one of Athena's symbols, if you didn't know. And she's actually the one that turned Medusa into the Gorgon and had her turn people to stone when they looked at her after an awful event that happened in one of her temples, because Medusa was one of her priestesses. All that to say, you don't necessarily have to be on Athena's bad side to get turned into something that isn't human. Anyway, that's all the information I have on Athena today. If you want to know more, want to hear more of her stories, I always encourage you to go to your local library. They have these stories for free. I'll see you next time.